he stay only in the kitchens of the Western camp.
God, my head's aching.
You guide Martina to reconcile with her
Some
husband.
medicine again. Have you any remedy for headaches?
May the Lord help us in banishing parasitic disease.
I have to get back to work, but I can't move because of a headache.
Lead my son out of danger. May he stay only in the kitchens of the Western camp.
You have found the right place.
Ah, I see you're awake. Nice to meet you. My name is Eden. I'm a ruins excavator. Huh? You've forgotten who you are? And where you came from? By all outward appearances, you look well enough. Did you hurt your head? We found you with that Ator's heart we excavated yesterday. At first, we mistook you for a mummy. What in the world happened?
Worker, come hither. Haven't you heard time is Blackstone's? Sir Jordine isn't half as patient as I.
The eminent Lord Jordine must be as quick as a choppy on a full moon. Now, I would love to hear your story, but it seems like it will have to wait. I was hired to excavate the ruins down below. Since the princess's prodding eyes are upon us, let's continue our conversation there. I was hired to excavate the...
Oh, you scared the daylights out of me. Are you new here? Who said you could rub your mitts on this without Lady Jarrett's permission? Huh? What is this nonsense? When did you start working here? How do you not know this already? When the moon comes up, shall we have a nice little chat by the loo? Who's your supervisor? We can bring him along to get an earful as well. It's Wilson, isn't it? I swear he's left his brain on a deserted island somewhere. How does he expect you rookies to survive? Well, Sam! But I am a generous person. I, Collins, shall teach you all you need to know. This ancient weapon is called an Ator. It's absolutely dangerous, so do not touch it!
Oh, this stench! How dare you stand so close? You... what? The way down to the ruins. What? Now even these peons. Mills! Do you know how hard I worked to make this excavation happen? Need I have you all discharged to be taken seriously?
I shall gladly take whatever punishment you feel is adequate once we return. But, my lady, I beseech you to withhold your anger for just a moment. How dare you stand in the way of Lady Jarrett of Serendia? If we were not out in the field, you would have been severely punished. What would compel you to ask such an obvious thing? Did Eden originally hire you on as a mercenary? Do you not know the ancient chamber excavation site is directly under the command of Lady Jarrett? We told Eden how important this site is, yet he dares to bring in someone so wet behind the ears. He's making it quite hard to trust him as a leader. We'll be lucky if we find anything at all before the deadline.
Eden was handpicked by our eminent Sir Jordine. Do you doubt the Grand Chamberlain of Serendia's shrewdness?
I sincerely apologize, my lady. That was not what I meant when I said those words.
I shall punish you for your suspicions in time. For now, just concern yourself with how to restore his honor.
Yes, I shall give this new recruit a fitting task. Fortune truly favors you. Follow me. Ruins excavation starts with picking up a pickaxe. Break the stones around that ruin and fill the cart. It's a simple task, so go to the soldier below once you are done. But, I will say this once, overconfidence is a fool's folly.
Oh, Eden's strong new recruit finally arrived, I see. Now tell us, how did you get locked in the sights of that spoiled lady?
Oh,
Never mind. You didn't hear me say a thing. Anyways, seems like you know how to handle yourself. Follow me. Do you see those hungry wolves stalking about in the grass? The horses won't budge thanks to that scary lot. Sir Roig may appear like he's not watching, but he sees all. So this is the time to show your stuff, my friend.
Weren't you an excavator? I thought you'd get eaten alive. But it seems you've some use. I'll grant you access to the ancient stone chamber. Go and help Eden finish up with the excavation.
You're practically drooling over those relics. Does a visit to places such as this make your heart skip a beat as well? Huh? Oh, so you're the living relic Eden discovered. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Luffy Bed Mountain, at your service. I'm not sure why no one has ever stumbled upon this stone chamber up until now, but I guess you're some sort of lucky charm, aren't you? It just so happens that the day you awoke was the day we finally cracked the secret of these 5 stone murals. These murals of prophecy have been speculated to have been painted by the ancients. They depict the rise and fall of the Kron Kingdom that was central to Balenos. Take a closer look. Who knows? You might be standing in front of your own creations, and you've just forgotten about it. A depiction of Noir III of House Bartali, the last king of the Kron Kingdom of Balenos. The enormous crown symbolizes his unchallenged authority. The only thing he feared was death itself. One day, an alchemist from across the desert sought audience with Noir III. My master shall grant you eternal life. If I heard that, my eyes would be big as dinner plates. Eternal life. Quite the thing to crave, especially in a world where many struggle to eke out a full living, even once. Alas, the prospect of immortality blinded Noir III, and he took the alchemist's offer. The blood and organs of 100 children and maidens, all offered up as sacrifice to the alchemist. The king's madness swept throughout Balenos as the people's resentment reached the heavens, but Noir III made no effort to stop the ritual to summon the alchemist's master. By the time the king learned the truth, that the alchemist served the evil god Hadum, his concerns had narrowed to the point where he cared not of such things. Fortunately, Elion, Arl, and their believers did not remain idle, and the ritual to bring about Hadum into this world was halted. Though, in doing so, the castle was toppled and shattered to pieces. The mighty kingdom of Kron joined the many other kingdoms lost to history. This was barely over 150 years ago, but do you know what's even more amazing? I, at Luffy Bed Mountain, used the latest advancements in archaeological dating to determine exactly when these murals were constructed. Apparently, these stone murals were made not 150 years ago, but much, much further back. However did the ancients peer so far into the future? Right. I've saved the most interesting mural for last. This one. depicts a prophecy that's yet come to pass. It's the Breaker of Chains who freed the vengeful souls sacrificed to summon Hadum to our realm. Yikes, look at the time. Take this information regarding the final mural and bring it to Martha Kean down there, will you? You can't miss her. She's unreasonably tall and wears glasses so big you would mistake her for a frog. Just listen to her speak and you will catch wind of her temper. Eesh, goose flesh just thinking about it.
My word, is that the final mural? And you are? Are you the one Eden described as a living relic he found toppled over? My goodness. My name is Martha Kean, an archaeologist by trade. And I guess this too is fate. Should we shake hands or something?
Martha! Martha! I found it! Come quickly!
Well, no time for handshakes. My, is it just me? Or are we seeing some steady developments after your awakening? If everyone worked towards a single goal in harmony, heaven on earth could be achieved. I swear I've seen these writings in an ancient text in Valencia somewhere. An ancient weapon that attacked the ancients. Who could have made such a thing? Is your heart pounding as hard as mine? Every time I make a discovery like this, it's like stealing a swig of light ale stashed away in a Calphionian noble's warehouse. Every time I make a
I could hear Laffy and Martha from all the way over here. I was wondering who their special guest would be. And it was you. You and I have already been introduced. Though I believe you've yet to meet my comrade, the beautiful Ganelle, Orwyn.
Eden, come now, quit it! Greetings. I am Orwyn Avilia.
Ah, well, do be careful. The remains of many petrified ancients are strewn about. It appears some unpredictable power remains sealed within this relic.
Not to mention the upside-down trees that are rooted around the relic as well. During my brief stay in the forests in the Southern Territories, I recall reading about them in some forbidden texts.
Dabbling in forbidden texts from such a young age? I can't imagine, especially considering how prim and proper you are right now. Wait, stand back, right now!
My goodness, what are you doing all of a sudden?
Are you awake? These are the memories of the forgotten world. Sorry, but you should have known better.
Your face suddenly turned pale. Are you okay? You remembered something, didn't you? But why would you do such a thing in front of an ancient relic you've never seen before? Wait, who could it be?
You wouldn't have some red-eyed being whispering incessantly in your head now, would you?
Ah, it must be a black spirit. Those entities that bring ruin to all who succumb to their whispers. I was joking when I called you a living relic, but now it appears that name was right on the mark.
Eden, please, isn't that a bit too much? And yet, it may be wise to tell the others what we've just witnessed. The relic has begun to move. At this rate, the dark energies will...
The relic probably awakened after reacting to your black spirit. Be careful. Those spirits will definitely seize any chance to swallow you whole.
You all right?
I knew it, I knew it! I knew you were trouble the moment I laid eyes on you. Forget what I said earlier. You aren't a lucky charm at all. Do you know how many hours of labor were wasted because of you? Are you going to explain this delay to that Janet or Gerald or whatever that stuck-up lady's name is?
Calm down, Laffy. If it weren't for this adventurer, we would have never found the Black Stone. So, it'll be fine.
You think that alone will ease her temper? Why are you so oblivious to the ways of the world?
Lesra, the White Witch. To think that she was part of your last memories.
Why don't we speak more on the matter after returning to the Western Guard camp? Lady Durette's awaiting our report on the relic excavation results.
I bet she'll give us an earful after she hears of our findings, but that's for us to deal with. What about our friend here? Lady Durette won't let just anyone waltz right into the Western Guard camp.
Do you know of any way we might get on her good side? Anything that might put her in a more magnanimous mood?
The only time I've seen the lady's foul temper abate were the days she met with Grand Chamberlain Jordine. Truth is, we've been waiting for a wagon with supplies from Western Guard camp, but it's yet to pass by. I had a bad feeling something in the woods may have caused the wagon's delay. If it's not too much trouble, could you go investigate?
It's a bit inconvenient, but I suppose that's the way of the world. We'll wrap things up here and follow right after you.
I'm saved. I thought you'd walk right past me. What? My wagon's over there, broken into pieces. Oh, I just realized my life has been spared, but only to be at the mercy of Lady Jarette once she gets word of this.
The moment I saw you slay those wolves, I knew you weren't ordinary. A weapon is more suited to your hand than a pickaxe. Well, one good turn deserves another. I've secured a job for you. Do as you're ordered, and you'll find your life becoming a bit more comfortable.
My name is Phania, and I am an officer of the Western Guard camp. I'd rather not meet under such circumstances, but it appears we have no choice. I heard from Sir Roig that you are an excavator, but with a special set of skills.
It appears their skills were wasted digging for relics. You have been looking to hire mercenaries, have you not?
Let's consider this a formal interview, then. Help us pave the way out of here. I shall guard Sir Roig.
See? Knowing how to seize the right opportunity is a skill in itself. Now, ensure my recommendation continues to carry weight.
This is the Western Guard camp overseeing Eastern Balenos. I heard a ruckus and thought it was the goblins again. Ah, Officer Fania, you're wounded. Medic, get over here now! Everyone, right here!
I'm fine. Please tend to other soldiers who are more seriously wounded. Yvain, where is he? Seems he's not around. This is the one who saved us from the imps. Though the wagon was destroyed, we thankfully did not share that fate. And yet goblins again. Is that why the imps have grown so aggressive?
Gieth, king of the goblins, grows craftier by the day. Take a look beneath the bridge if you want to see what I mean. That's the work of the Goblin King, Gieth. Duvain is tracking him down, but capturing him is a difficult feat.
The imps mistakenly believed that this slaughter was our doing. Long ago, this region was originally claimed by the goblins. One day, Rednose, leader of the imps, suddenly appeared and sent all the goblins packing to Castle ruins. I don't blame Gieth for resenting them for that. I need to give my report to Captain Cliff.
It seems things here have grown dire while our attentions were on the stone chamber. I need to go alert the lady of the situation immediately. Don't worry. I'll carry word of your deeds to her ear. You will be rewarded handsomely, more so than that Eden fellow.
Why don't you go visit the skill instructor Armstrong for the time being? With just a little polish on your basics, you'll make a fine mercenary.
Oh, a recommendation from Officer Fania herself, with a note that you could do with learning a few more skills. The more skills you learn, the stronger you will become. Keep checking from time to time on what new skills you are able to learn. The more
Eden's living relic! You should have sent word you arrived safely. We were worried sick. We thought the imps had dragged you off to their cave. We were just about ready to send you off with a proper funeral rite, spoons and all. Would you have preferred a wooden spoon or a metal one? I guess we could always just ask you instead. Which one would you pick?
Spoons, Luffy? You know quite a lot about foreign customs. Hiding a secret lover from the land of the morning calm, are we?
We've been granted an audience. Let us not keep the lady waiting now.
I suppose we'll find her in her tent, where she always is.
Do you know what allows Sir Jordine absolute rule over Serendia? Faith. Our faith in him, and his faith in us. I too demonstrated the capacity for good faith when I sent you off, and your favorable outcome is proof that my faith in you is rewarded. Does this not make me a most favorable counterpart to his lordship? Am I mistaken, my dear Roig? I place my faith in your good judgment as well, though those results currently seem to be less than favorable. My wagon, of the finest Calphionian craftsmanship, in pieces. The black stones that were the sole reason for me funding this excavation, absent. Do you think I poured out such funding so that you could go dig up these worthless pebbles?
Apologies, Your Highness. As speculated, the depths of the chamber indeed held black stones, but what we found was merely the empty remains of the stones, after the black spirits sealed within had consumed all of their power.
You don't look like an addled half-wit. Cut the spiritual nonsense and speak with some sense. You're professionals, are you not? You are being paid as such. With that payment comes the expectation of results, not half-baked excuses about spirits. You think these results will welcome me into Sir Jordine's strong embrace? Must I be ever haunted by the shadow of disappointment I'll cast across his chiseled face? Ah! Get out! All of you! Never show your faces here again!
Ah, you've lost your memories, haven't you? Congratulations on your first castigation. It can be a burden to earn a living at times. Though it strikes me as odd. I heard all the black stones excavated in Serendia are being shipped directly to Calphion. Why is this Jordine fellow making his own fiancée aid another nation in gathering black stones?
Since there aren't any black stones left in the stone chamber, I guess it's time that we set off for another excavation site. One possessed by a black spirit may briefly gain great power and wisdom, but their ultimate fate is to succumb to its darkness and become a monstrosity. I pray you remain on the right path, for anything so easily gained can also be easily lost.
Stop scaring them, my boy. Keep your mind and body sharp, and there's nothing to fear. Next time we meet, let's go grab a pint together.
From our first encounter, I knew there was more to you than meets the eye. If you live as long as I do, you become quick to spot these things. I have a proposal for you. What say you to working for Lady Jarrett? Excellent. Take this letter of recommendation to Captain Cliff. He serves under the lady's father and oversees these parts.
Ah, Lady Jarrett's recommendation. I heard the news from Officer Fania. You saved them all from the Imp's aggression. We are currently tasked with finding the source of all this chaos. The very leader of the Imps himself, Red Nose. He suddenly appeared one day and kicked all the goblins out. Now he's been sighted launching small-scale raids into the settlements nearby. But first, we need to deal with these steel imps. Set off immediately for the Northern Bridge and defend this camp at all costs.
Impressive. Already the soldiers in the Western Guard camp are whispering of your exploits as a rising star in camp. Did you know that? Let's use this momentum to track down Red Nose. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. However, we still don't know much about Red Nose. A few days ago, some of our soldiers encountered Red Nose. Not everyone made it out, but perhaps you can speak to the lucky ones who did. I will be waiting here. Word's gone round the camp that the imp expert will soon arrive.
His nose was so incredibly red. Imagine a ripe tomato. Now just imagine it redder. I was patrolling the northern forest when I felt a cold energy behind me. When I turned around, I saw an imp the size of an house. I knew straight away it was Red Nose. Boy, that imp was strong. He pulled out a sword as big as I am. He was pretty agile too, considering his giant physique and all. He sprung at me like a frog. I nearly died that day. I reckon that's what getting hit by a gold-laden wagon feels like. Look, if you want to find out more, go to the blacksmith. I heard he cleaned up the aftermath of the skirmish.
The armor. Useless after the beating it took. I disposed of it. But whatever odds and ends I found at the scene, I put in a box.
Where is this box?
The armor.
Box contains items gathered after. And of these came belonging soldiers. Them something. Initiate anger.
This? What's this doing here? This belongs to one of our rookies, Mare. But he wasn't on duty at the time.
No, that's not mine. You've got the wrong idea. I had nothing to do with that skirmish. Well, I mean, I did, but not on purpose. I was off duty, heading into Velia. They've got this smoked chicken. My wife is pregnant and she loves the stuff. Anyway, I spotted an imp wandering alone, sort of drunk-looking, stumbling about with a crooked nose. Well, this is rather embarrassing, but I picked him on the head and said, "Hey, pal, you red nose or something? Skulking about all alone here?" Then the ground started to quake beneath me, and I swear Red Nose really appeared. I didn't think, I just ran for my life.
You started this whole commotion, and you didn't even have the dragon eggs to report it. You'll face a military tribunal for this.
Big Red Nose name. Yet.
Oh. It was all Mare's doing then. Looks like I'll be taking up extra shifts. I'll think about that later. Let's move on to our next task. The important thing now is distracting the imps. The imp expert has constructed a trap to capture them. You're up for the task, aren't you? Deal with some of the imps here first, then follow the path north.
It's you, the living relic. Don't look so surprised. Eden won't shut up about you. Look here, I've caught a useful prisoner. Exactly how is a trade secret. You've got that shocked expression on your face again. Ready to be really blown away? My prisoner is an imp who can speak the common tongue.
I told you, I don't know where the boss is. Our boss comes and goes as he pleases.
Hey, Eden told me that you are an expert on this. Why don't you show what you've got?
What about Red Nose?
No one knows where the boss's hideout is.
Then I shouldn't have wasted my time capturing you.
Do you think I knew I'd get caught like this?
Prefer Red Nose?
Wow, look at the brains on this beanstalk. And you think us imps are stupid? Red nose or blue nose, the beanstalk asks, without even thinking to ask about Tiny Nose.
Oh, Tiny Nose. Who's Tiny Nose?
What? I said nothing. Imps are extremely loyal to one another. Red Nose will defeat Gieth and bring endless abundance.
Oh, with fresh food. Damn.
Wolf meat? Red Nose and Tiny Nose are brothers! Yes! Delicious! Can I have some now?
Well, the chef might have some leftovers.
Tiny Nose is always down at the cave. Just one bite. Please?
This isn't Tiny Nose.
Tiny Nose is clever. He makes deals with beanstalks like you. Beanstalks give delicious cooked wolf meat to Tiny Nose. He loves it. And in return, Tiny Nose gives mineral wagons to humans. Humans love them. Meat. Sweet and succulent wolf meat. Please, you'll give me some, right? Huh?
There must be more to it. I must let our captain know. I think I know how the imps got a hold of weapons.
I will look for traces of Red Nose near that cave over there. You should meet Tiny Nose.
I have a feeling it won't be. Red Nose. Kaffe. Tack. What do you... Ow. Det är dört. Go ahead. Door to right. Exit lieutenant. Stay. Tiny Nose. Det var det spets. För där. Tiny Nose. F4. Course better. Ankle. Fuck. Shiny no.
Shush, shush. You need to lower the voice.
Spanish.
Really? How did you know I like this? I've prepared a mineral wagon. Help yourself. Huh? What do you mean you don't need it? Then what do you want from me? Our boss? You want to hear about Red Nose? One rainy day, he was wiping away his tears in seclusion after being roughed up for his shiny schnoz, when he was discovered by a man wrapped in black robes. He opened his hand to reveal a wishing black stone. Red Nose prayed before this man clad in black. I wish for the power to flatten everyone's noses. Hearing Red Nose's words seething with hatred, the man gave him the black stone in return for a promise. You see that large stone over there, with the mark on it? The man told Red Nose to remember that mark, saying that he will have to fight alongside him one day.
Inte Ollo. Nästan över. Där gör. A proclaim imp. Might have an idea on how to break them. I know.
Ah, so black stones are the source of his power.
So redness ever like
That makes sense, all things accounted for. Of course I know about black stones. I told you Eden and I were acquainted. And now, let's review the information we've gathered up until now. Normally, Red Nose is average imp-sized, but grows to gigantic proportions when enraged. How might we prod him into such a state? Well, I've yet to meet a blue nose, but I'll let you know if I do. Grows to gigantic proportions when enraged. How might we prod him into such a state? Your tactic is to mistake him for the imp you just met in the cave. Grows to gigantic proportions when enraged. Right, I'd almost forgotten the magical power of mockery. Good. Now it's my turn. I've happened to discover something meaningful nearby. Using the information you gathered from the Western Guard camp, I tracked down the location of the incident. You can see here traces of Red Nose's hopping mad rampage. What a gruesome scene. Those soldiers were someone's husband or brother. I was racking my brain over how to hunt down Red Nose, but black stones being the source of his power may just be the key. Take this potion. You'll be able to follow the energy signature of black stones. What? You think I'm trying to poison you? I didn't even brew it. Eden did, so drink up.
Yeah.
Oh, can you see it? Those are his tracks. Follow them and it should lead straight to his hideout. Hold on, don't touch it. The energy that comes from Blackstones is very dangerous.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Darkness. Hunger. Oh, so
I dare say. Did you just lick that? Not
Oh.
the strangest tracking technique I've seen, but close.
okay.
It's Red Nose's hideout. Why don't you take a step back? Fania's soldiers will be here soon. It's best to fight together.
What a pity. Red Nose was sucked in. Hey. Thank him. Hey, but there's some family. Not for it. Red. Don't give. Gift. Keeping. Stones. It. Put the stone.
To think, you not only tracked down Red Nose's hideout, but defeated him all on your own. That's something. How could someone with such prowess find themselves shoveling dirt for some pretty boy in a headband? How would you feel about putting your potential to better use? The people could use a champion like you. I'll inform his lordship of your interest.
If you would just hand over the black stone that was in Red Nose's possession.
Apologies, Your Highness, but I couldn't find it. He likely took it with him into the Dark Rift.
Ah, then it was all for naught. No, not quite. It was your first task, and your performance was commendable.
Yes, my lady. They have met every measure of your recommendation. They're a fine mercenary and have quelled the imps for the time being.
Is that so? Well then, rookie, you may approach. I shall reward you for your service. Tiny Nose's information was instrumental to defeating Red Nose, but he is also directly to blame for drawing out this feud.
We found evidence of them trading military supplies with humans. This allowed them to be quickly battle-ready.
A prisoner of war should be kept chained, but it'd be a shame to waste such talent and intellect. Seeing as how you unearthed his whole operation, I'll entrust you to decide Tiny Nose's fate.
I've got loads of connections. I'm also a great worker. I'll work hard. I'll turn over a new leaf.
We've lost track of Red Nose, but we must keep seeking the stone that consumed him. There's a coastal village nearby, Velia. Go to Alustin, a wise man there, and report to him on the situation regarding the stone.
I sent word to the Velia Vigilantes. Tiny Nose will be entrusted to one of their work supervisors. Well done.
I'm Hans, a Velia Vigilante. Aren't you the one being credited with defeating Red Nose? Your praises are being sung by the great Captain Cliff. If you'd chosen to enlist, I'm certain you'd have been set for life. Anyway, the sage Alustin is waiting for you. We sincerely welcome you to Velia. Anyway, the sage Alustin is waiting.
This says that Red Nose has been defeated!
If that's the case, why the hell's this village still in this state? I heard they're still drafting soldiers. How about you? It's all because of those damn goblins.
My love, what would I tell Helen? To think I'd be widowed at my age.
I pray this year would be free from that curse, and yet here we are in another drought.
Aye, and the chief's granddaughter's coming of age this year.
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
What's the meaning of all this?
The trade wagon that left yesterday has been raided. Again.
Hardell is considering severing ties with us.
Goblins again? How many guards do we need to stop them? The entire guild will starve at this rate.
A wise one. This village is filled with bad spirits.
Shouldn't we do something with the chief's granddaughter first?
In times like these, we need to stay vigilant from within as well. And to do so... Welcome, adventurer. You seem to bear a dark energy, eons old. I am Alustin, an alchemist who feels eons old himself at times. Some see these wrinkles as a sign of wisdom, but a wise man would avoid such an unhealthy obsession with black stones. Uno and Cliff have told me all I need to know of Red Nose tearing through the dark rift and his defeat at your hands. To cause such noticeable mutations in his physical appearance means that the black stone was of extremely high purity. To have such an item in his possession, this man clad in black, we should not take him lightly. We should undertake our investigation discreetly. Clarence is away on some other task. I suppose I have no other choice. I would like you to assist my other daughter in investigating this matter. However, let us speak on this elsewhere. There are far too many prying eyes here.
Fantastic! You head on over first, okay? I'll just close up shop and be right behind you. They're basically just watered-down versions of Florence's potions anyway. I'm kidding! Please, buy my wares.
Eileen, save your sales pitch. I've a task for you. Think you can handle it?
What? Another one? But I just finished the last one. Can't Clarence just swoop in and save the day?
Well, if you don't want this opportunity to meet a black spirit host in the flesh...
What? No way. Look at those dreamy eyes. Nothing like the vacant corpse-like expressions I read about.
Eileen, manners.
Oops. Did I say that out loud? I'll just go stick my head in a cauldron and die now.
Come now, child. No need for dramatics. They are in need of your aid.
Me? Specifically? Sure you didn't just confuse me for Clarence? Gosh, okay, let's see. How long have you been exposed? Oh, wow, that's a bit excessive. And likely to have accelerated the spirit's encroachment. Tell me, does ceaseless whispering fill your head? Do you have an unquenchable thirst? Is that thirst for apocalyptic chaos? Fantastic! You head on over first, okay? I'll just close up shop and be right behind you. Got it, Papa. I'll... can do it. Definitely. Probably.
I've received a summons from the Grand Chamberlain Jordine. There are urgent matters at Alejandro Farm to which I must attend. I'll be expecting fair tidings upon my return. Adventurer, please give Eileen your full cooperation.
Right. Clarence will be off to college soon, setting the academic world on fire, while I do my best to find a man who trusts me not to set his meals on fire. Fantastic! You head on up...
So good.
Huh? Wow! You gathered so many so quickly? Guess I've got nothing to fear with you around. Fantastic! You head on over first, okay? Papa said you needed help, but... what's a couple of hours? Why don't we take a short walk over to the church? See that bell tower over there? Why don't you... go on ahead. I need to touch up my faith for church. Fantastic! You had...
Hurt.
My faithful congregation who've gathered here today. You've likely not ever set foot in the desert, nor heard tale of the Black Desert and the salvation of Elion. There was a time when black stones were thought to be blessed with Elion's might. Sown like so many seeds beneath the sands that span from Calphion to Valencia. These two nations then declared war over these black stones, who watered the great desert with blood until the sand itself could hold no more. From that day it was known by two names, for the countless black stones Calphionians know the Great Desert as the Black Desert, but for the countless lives lost, Valencians call it Red. Not so long after, Elion felt pity for us fallen humans, and granted us the sight to see the Black Stones for what they truly were. Now that Elion has lifted the veil from our eyes, let us cast off the avarice and offer up our worldly possessions to him.
There you are.
So long after,
Shall we sit together?
Elion felt pity for us fallen humans, and granted us the sight to... Now that Elion has lifted the veil from our eyes, let us cast off the avarice and offer up our worldly possessions to Elion.
Shirking your alchemical studies again. I see. No surprises there. What does surprise me is how it's a new man every time. What do they see in you? Hello, I'm Florence, Eileen's twin sister. Father filled me in. I only came here to confirm my suspicions. Now listen here. The Black Spirit is biding its time, waiting until you're spent and exhausted. And when you show the slightest sign of weakness, you will be under its control in an instant. My advice, go get some rest. As for my sister, well, it seems she's already lost interest in you. Don't dawdle here listlessly. Go find Chief Igor Bartali. He's known to treat adventurers with the utmost hospitality.
Let the turn hit. Tiny no. Okay. Oh.
Ah, so you're the one Alustan spoke of. We finally meet. I am Igor Bartali, chief of this village. Welcome to Velia. There was a time when I too dreamt of becoming a great adventurer, and I would love to hear of your heroic encounter with Red Nose. But first, I must attend to a small matter requested of me by the Grand Chamberlain. How about you tell your tale over a meal at the Lunar Halo Inn? It's right over there. My wife, Islin, will treat you to some refreshments. Go on ahead. I'll be right behind you. I am Igor...
Welcome to the Lunar Halo Inn, traveler. You can call me Islin. My husband said you'd be dropping by. Rowdy drunkards think getting pot-shotten is an excuse for breaking a dish or two, but I make sure everyone pays for their mistakes. Here's fair warning to you. This is the chef of our inn, David. Talented, aye, but patrons love him because he pays little heed to the cost of ingredients. Those two over there act like brothers once a little ale's in 'em. In the cold light of sobriety, they find themselves again sworn enemies. That one over there just keeps to himself, smoking his pipe all day long, never orders a thing, literally running on fumes he is. Oh, look at the old man, the wind blew in. Well, what'll you have? Have a seat and we'll get your order in right away.
No more. Red.
Roasted chicken salad. Top choice. It's so good you'll have dreams about it. Good, good. Take a seat over there. My husband's probably dying to see you.
Lads at the Crown Castle! Oh, Islin is talkative as ever. Sometimes she keeps customers so long that the food goes cold. Oh, finally. I've been looking forward to dining together and hearing the wealth of stories you have to tell. First, tell me of Red Nose. Tell me everything, theatrics and all. Who helped the most in tracking Red Nose down?
Who had the most taking the Tiny no. Captain Cape. No. Doctor Tiny no. Me.
That's right. Stand tall and proud. We're all the protagonists of our own stories, after all. But however did Red Nose become leader of the Imps? As I recall, he was ever so tiny and timid.
It was.
The black stone given unto Red Nose became one filled with rage. I've no idea what that man is up to. If only I was younger, I'd need just to wave my finger to teach him a lesson. Ah, well. Frustrating though it may be, in times like this, repeat after me. Things are looking up. See? Feels good. Once more. Things are looking up. Your grand journey is still underway, and arduous times are yet to come. Dig deep and shout this out to steel your nerves in those moments.
Well now, what's this? You two together? Things are looking up. Things are looking up.
Oh, Uno. It has been some time. Where have you been quenching your thirst while your old friend's throat is dry?
Me just had a pint at the Dancing Marlin to celebrate our defeat of Red Nose. Cheers! And yet to think a black stone of such high purity brings me back to the days when there were yet hairs on your head.
I'm telling you, it's all gone in an instant. But I, too, am reminded of the tale of the Great Desert. 10 years past now?
This is your first time hearing it, right? Listen well, it's quite the tale. 10 years passed. In the distant desert, a sudden and strange phenomenon occurred. The ground beneath the sands cracked wide, and an ancient ruin burst forth. It was the ruins of Histria, once existing only in ancient texts. Held deep within her, a final chamber composed of the purest black stones.
He's been on about this story for a decade now. My ears can't take it any longer. Be present. It's the year 286. 286.
What happened?
Nostalgia serves as the greatest drive in the twilight years of a senile old fool. And yet, thanks to what occurred back then, business has never stopped booming.
Never thought I'd see the day when Igor the Adventurer was properly domesticated. The things love will do to us, eh?
I may not look it now, but I was indeed quite the adventurer in my day. People would travel far and wide to consult with me on matters of Histria.
Look at the stone spider flaunting his carapace to the stoneback crab, like he's forgotten he's speaking with the continent's foremost imp expert. And on my honor, I swear on that day I clearly saw it. The shining star fall into the hills of the Forest of Seclusion.
That nonsense again. Give it a rest, my dear friend. No one found a star, not even a scrap of metal in that area.
I promise you, before my dying breath, I shall uncover its secret. I, Uno, am a man of my word. Believe it. This stuff is great. careful. Do you know how much this beer cost me?
I couldn't believe it. She told me to shave my beard. Do you know how many years I spent whacking those scarecrows?
Oh, Tronu, you're here as well.
Of course. I have to lay down the hammer sometimes.
Yes, indeed. It's been some time. Care to hear of my travels to Valencia?
Oh, good. Adventurer, you're awake. This is the home of Trannon Underfoe, the blacksmith. He said you had a pretty rowdy night at the tavern, so he brought you back here. You should go thank him for taking care of you. And maybe apologize for dueling his anvil. Let's be off. We're going to overcome the Black Spirit together. I have a close friend who is going through a similar situation. Her name is Emma. Emma Bartali. Yes, the chief's granddaughter. You could say she's the princess of the town. Ever since she was little, Emma would often have nightmares, but it's grown worse. Now, a dark figure has begun to invade her mind. We're going to pay her a visit. Though, please understand, for anyone so shy, and who suffers as she suffers, a smile would be hard to muster. Oh, poor Emma. She's the only person who's opened their heart to me. I must find a way to rid her of her vile infestation. Nightmares of the Kingdom of Kron often haunt Emma. People do not talk about it, saying it's a curse that befell the family. See, she's a descendant of that house, and they sacrificed the lives of their citizens to an immortal alchemist in return for eternal life. That family, they treat the curse like it's nothing, like it's a normal part of any child's formative years. Nonsense, I say. No wonder she shuns people. I'm counting on you to get close to her heart. Here, have a look at this. 150 years have passed since the fall of the Kingdom of Kron. Yet, House Bartali still remains in the public eye. Grave robbers have once again stolen Noir Bartali III's treasure, a piece of heaven. However, the town has shown no pity, saying that it's a well-deserved punishment. The chief may seem like he just enjoys drinking with adventurers all the time, but he really cares about the town, more than anyone else. He gave me a place to set up my own shop, and he's serious about restoring the Bartali name. The Bartali family store their ashes in an ossuary north of this town. A place like that, teeming with Kron's secrets, must have some clues. Go ahead and take the path near the church. I'll check in on our dear, hungover Dr. Uno, then join you.
I look like red. Alright.
I'm Trannon Underfoe, a blacksmith with patience. No need to thank me. Looks like I have myself a valuable new patron. I can see how callous the palms of your hands are. You will certainly be a regular at the forge. From now on, trust your gear to me, a master craftsman. And, by the way, where are you off to with Eileen? Bellevue? Ossuary? Got peculiar taste, that's for sure. Most tourists would prefer visiting more scenic spots. On your way there, give my regards to my dear friend Richie, if you could. He's not been in this town too long. Think I'm the only friend he has.
know that I may not be...
Oh, Eileen. You've come with a new friend today. You didn't let a grave robber trick you into bringing them here, did you?
I know that I may not be the brightest compared to my sister, but I'm not that foolish, you old man.
It's merely that everyone trusts Clorince's shrewd nature will keep her safe. You, on the other hand, well, what brings you here? Richie? I wasn't aware he had any friends to receive regards from. Tronnen? So Richie's been shirking his duties to... Anyway, Richie is probably down below, sweeping and cleaning. Friendly warning for the newcomer. Never lay a hand on anything, or else.
Well, this isn't as scary as I thought it would be. Anything good here? Huh? Over there! A ghost!
A human?
What? A talking ghost? Adventurer, exorcise it!
Don't you know who I am? The notorious grave robber, Afuaru's cousin!
Oh.
Oh, that was scary. I've never been ghosted before. Think it enjoys haunting an ossuary falling into ruin. I thought that Houtman had the easiest job in town, but that is clearly not the case. Adventurer, what's this? Do you think the ghost dropped it? A key! The Bartali crest is engraved on it. So maybe it unlocks something in the ossuary. I'll ask Rich... Where is he? You don't think he's been hurt, do you? Come on, let's go find Richie. Oh, Elion, All, Sylvia, Thornwood Goddess, please keep Richie safe.
Oh. Someone there holding a broom, sweeping the floor with spelunky.
Richie? Oh, thank goodness. Were you trapped in here? And are you sweeping?
No. This is just me salvaging the last bits of my pride off the floor.
What's all this commotion about? What? Did you cause trouble again?
Old man, did you know that Richie was trapped in here all along? You really keep vigilant watch over the ossuary, huh?
What? Another grave robber showed their ugly mug? That cowardly Richie was probably hiding again. I can't be everywhere all at once. An ossuary needs constant care. I'm bound to forget a thing or two. Age takes its toll. You'll see. If it were your sister here, she would have done something clever, like brewed up a potion to make the cowardly goblin a bit braver.
Well, you're not wrong, but it still hurts. Let's go, adventurer. That's Eileen for you. Makes you wonder if she truly is the great Alustin's daughter. Sorry we didn't get much out of this, adventurer. I wanted to lift Emma's spirits for a change. Huh? Emma! Adventurer! What is all this? What in the world is going on here? Emma, are you alright? Wait. What is it? Speak up! Down there? Deep in the dark abyss? And there's a blood-eyed monster? Adventurer!
Oh. Oh, sen. Well, don't tell me you partner. Okay. Oh, this is the one. The Magnus. Okay, I don't need Magnus.
Oh my. The grave robber could have hurt you, Eileen. Don't you ever do that again, even if it's for me.
But I still haven't found clues to the nightmares that haunt you. This adventurer here is going through something similar. I'm sure of it.
No. I'm so thankful that you tried. I don't want anyone to be in danger again because of me. Hello. My name is Emma, daughter of Justin Bartali. You must be a guest of my grandfather. Well then, take care.
Hold on, Miss Emma. I'm sorry that I couldn't repay your kindness. But look at this! My howls of terror must have shocked that grave robber into dropping it!
The script is kind of old, but I think I can read it. It appears to be someone's journal from the Kingdom of Kron.
Ah, my poor, lonely Hannah. My dear niece. Lovely and beautiful to the very end. A spring's courtship blossomed into summer romance, which bore fruit like autumn. Only for the suitor to coldly part like winter, you persevered alone to rear your child. Only for the king to steal him away. Falling victim to an aged fool's selfish ambitions, seeking eternal life. The world came crashing down, but I shall remember Hannah forever. Even as I cleaned the nursing bottle she couldn't heat up for a final time. It is another trace of sin left behind by my ancestor. How long shall I repent his sins to wash away the karma? Well, I just can't keep avoiding it like this. Would you both listen to my sorry tale? In Kron Castle, ruined by sins of past, lay tiny souls hidden, tears amassed. I reach out to comfort those unnamed, but some strange force keeps me restrained. Then, black as smoke soon overtakes me. I flee and flee. Can no one save me? The crimson gaze. I can't escape thee. My piercing screams what finally wakes me. And now, whispers haunt me beyond my dreams. But I'm unaware of what those whispers mean. There's someone in my dreams who pushes me into Kron Castle. A man wearing a sheep's skull, surrounded by goblins.
If texts I've read are to be trusted, the Black Spirit has begun to take hold of her. Oh, we can't just sit and do nothing. Let's see what we can find at Kron Castle.
Eileen, if we take action, it'll put my grandfather in a difficult position. I read the rescript that the Grand Chamberlain, Jordine, had sent not so long ago. Goblins that were driven away from the plains of Agris by the imps are now becoming more and more aggressive toward traders. And those goblins, they aren't on good terms with the rebel forces of Medea, who are occupying the Kron Castle ruins. All this havoc may account for the Grand Chamberlain's foul mood as of late. Best not for us to add to it.
You are most dear to the Chief, Emma. And to me too, because you're my friend.
Thanks, Eileen, you're right. We've got to do something. In that case, meeting Grusha would be the best place to start. Grusha is a loyal protector of House Bartali. He's been keeping watch over the Goblins' forest.
Ooh. Oh. And
A human. I'm Grusha, the head of the Velia Vigilantes Special Task Force. Kron Castle, you say? Best steer clear of there for now. We're poised to invade the castle soon. It's much too dangerous. To even think of going to such places with Lady Emma in your care shows your utter recklessness.
Then, Grusha, let me at least meet the Goblin Chief. I've heard you boasting about how you became drinking buddies.
Eileen, the chief you knew doesn't exist anymore. Our race has been reborn entirely. The old chief who used to dance the in front of the bonfire is now buried beneath the fields of Agris. A young giant and mighty chief has taken his place and now leads us goblins to the great battlefield.
What are you ladies doing here in the perilous Goblin's Forest? I myself have come here to inform the scout Grusha about something. Head of the Goblin Infiltration Task Force, Grusha Nork. According to foreign agreement, your job as a scout has been terminated. I'm sure you're well aware that the Goblins turning vicious and aggressive is causing quite a setback in trade relations with Serendia. The Chief and Grand Chamberlain have already come to an agreement. You have no other choice than to follow their orders.
You? That's because the imps attacked our goblin base!
You're still acting as the Goblin's mouthpiece, eh? Understand that Velia has no further plans to coexist with the Goblins.
Yes, I mean, goblins didn't do anything wrong. Please, I beg you, give me another chance. If you only let me speak with them.
Another chance? Does Velia come first or do goblins? You're relieved of your post, and you'll serve probation from your own home.
Okay. Goblins. Of the Okay, Asher.
Well, who have we here? The hero who defeated Red Nose. Did you say you want to meet Grusha and the Goblin King Giaf? We're more than glad to have someone as skilled as you do us a favor. But are you sure that you'll be fine with someone like him? Since our chief is so fond of you, I'll trust you with this task. However, bear in mind, the goblins are awaiting our swift subjugation. You'll have to finish the job quick before we start the attack. I'm looking forward to seeing the skills of one who could take down Red Nose.
Thank you. Thanks for protecting us goblins. Goblins are kind. But I don't know where the chief is either yet. Let's ask friends. They'll surely help. Oh, I almost forgot. We must go through a ritual before we do, or else my friends won't let you step foot near them. If you gain an understanding of our tradition as you destroy those totems, the goblins will accept you as their friend. I mean, not all of them. Everyone's been on edge since the appearance of the new king. Meet Toto and my other goblin friends. Toto, this person stood against the Velia vigilantes. He says thanks for protecting our forest, and that the king is within the goblin cave, but he is also not. Huh? Toto? What do you mean? You want me to look at the mural behind us? Was it redrawn? Us goblins are a race that have called Balenos home for some time now, just like the people of Velia. Well, that was before that violent, red-nosed imp exiled us. That's why the old chief would offer up prayers to the ancestors every day. He prayed for youth and the power to protect his race. Then, one day, a man wrapped in black robes approached him. The man didn't stay long, but imparted a black-coloured stone unto the chief. Shortly after, the aged, feeble chief passed from this world, after siring the new king. That stone might have been poison given to the aged chief to give up his own life. Huh? Hey, he wants you to follow him. This is a cave that honorary goblins like I cannot enter. Only pure-blooded Gaia goblins can enter. Toto says that he'll support us. However, he also says that you'll have to fight against the Gaia goblins. The goblins are more vicious towards outsiders than ever. Do you think you can do this?
Must have by now. I told you. Goblin. Price. Who do you think gave that? Giant rams and gain. Not even a gain.
A human commander's body has become the vessel that hosts our king. But our king still bears the name of Kiev. Oh, mighty king, please protect us goblins. Please restore our peace. That must mean this stone grave actually contains... It doesn't matter. It's all for the benefit of goblins. Lend us strength!
Get you power of the Blackstone. That warrior. Body head. Tweet. Things. Big O. Yeah. Goblin. Warm up.
I'm sorry. I know this place is dangerous, but curiosity killed the cat, right? I mean... Oh. Look! Black energy erupted from the cave you exited from, and formed this illusion on the rock. I've seen this symbol in one of my father's books. It's a mark indicating the Goblin King is hiding in a dark rift.
What brings you ladies here to such a dangerous place?
I thought I might find something useful so we paid a visit to my grandfather's study.
The goblins stole the book we, borrowed while we were looking for you. What do they even need a human book for?
My ladies, all goblins know that boiling letters in a cauldron will make you smarter. I will take the ladies to Finto Farm, where it's safe. Find Lady Emma's book. You must look for a giant cauldron.
I knew I could trust you. Now, let's read the book to find out whose body Geath actually inhabited. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Croxus Antonio, guard captain for Noir III in Elionian year 135, forfeited his life when he dared to admonish his king for attempting to sacrifice a young maiden and child to attain immortality. The immortal alchemist said the ritual must go on, and the enraged king had Croxus executed, and his remains scattered over Awar's hill.
It's him. The one who led me to that sin-laden castle. He met such a tragic end. To lose his own flesh as well. He must have appeared in my dreams for a reason. I need to speak with him. Is there any way we can summon Geath from the Dark Rift?
There must be a way, Lady Emma. But first, you must eat. Your grandfather would have me hanged if I'd let you pass out. We shall ask Martina, the farm owner, for some food.
I'd be more than happy to whip you up a meal, but nothing comes for free now, does it? My farm wasn't always looking a mess like this. You can thank the goblins for that. I'd be more than happy to whip you up a... I'd be more than happy to whip you up a meal, but nothing comes for free now, does it?
I'll be more than happy to handle the cooking, though I know most of your harvest has already gone out to Velia.
Eileen, be a dear and scrounge up some potatoes from the field, and your company can get the chicken porridge started. I'm not sure if we've got any hearty potatoes left. It's not the first time goblins have made a mess of our field.
That earthy aroma. Oh, it reminds me of my grandmother's steamed potatoes. That didn't take too long, right? I have good senses.
Do you need potatoes for cooking?
Good. Now that our stomachs are full, let's try putting our heads together. Geath chose a body that's been dead for quite some time. According to what I know of nature, the body should have decomposed already. So how do you think he got around that?
Oh, that reminds me of something Father taught me last week in class. It was something on alchemy used to track time. I remember it because I really struggled with the reagents. Clorence said something like, "Eileen, what good's ahead if you don't even use it?" Then she said, what did she say? "Eileen, you're so stupid you'd flip over an hourglass to check the time." Oh, right! Sands of Time! Using Papa's special recipe, it's possible to restore the flow of time where it's been halted. But it's difficult to get the materials. Only black stones of a purity of at least 73% will work. Papa brought some such stones to class last week, but I think, I used them all up.
Color me surprised. I should have brought Clarence along. She would have come up with another plan, surely.
I'm sorry. I'm not Clarence.
I think you're crossing the line here, Takros. My grandfather will hear of your behavior. Eileen, don't give up. There is always a way. We will find it together.
Well, I suppose certain ingredients can be substituted, but we'd need an object one would sacrifice their life for.
A goblin's horn should do then, I imagine. Can't understand why the bastards are so obsessed with this thing.
Here, over here. I have a black stone.
It once belonged to the old chief.
Singular mind, eh? You keep mum until we start on about goblins. That black stone is better put to use elsewhere. Right now, we have a better tool at our disposal. The goblins themselves.
Quiet, I can't think. I'm becoming potato-brained standing in all these potatoes. What's your gut tell you, adventurer? I'll follow your lead.
Okay, first.
Thank you. You won't regret putting your faith in me. For sparing the lives of my friends. I'm forever in your debt. It's not that I can't understand where Takros is coming from. He's one of the Median deserters that was stationed at Kron Castle. When Gief, our king, assaulted Kron Castle, many lives were lost. No doubt the loss of his comrades, his captain, contributed to his desertion. Though Takros may feel Chief Igor helped put that behind him when he settled in Velia, he still holds that anger. Don't allow him to stoke that hatred. Use the stone for something good.
Time to finally put my alchemical training to use. Is anyone else feeling faint? No, it's okay, I'm fine. Shall we start the process of creating the Sands of Time? Now, please fetch me the first ingredient. I require fresh blood of a weasel. Fortunately, there are plenty of weasels around the farm. And I've even brought my best friend along. This book may look a bit worn out, but she's full of knowledge. Without her, I'd never pass an alchemy exam. Next, we'd need a shimmering wildflower. They're sometimes found blooming in Awa's plains. The story goes that the shimmering lights from these wildflowers are the very souls of innocent children who were sacrificed in the foolish King Noir's search for eternal life.
Let's go hunt out a decent spot to brew up our concoction. Takros, can we trust you to protect us without riling up any more goblins?
Thank goodness we have Grusha's black stone. Is it just me? Or are things going smoother than expected? here quickly, and just in time. Ta-da! I managed to put together a makeshift magic cauldron. Don't look at me like that. It actually took a lot of ingenuity to put that together. Alright. Now, if we perform some simple alchemy with these ingredients, we should obtain something known as the Fragments of Time. Don't look at me like that. It actually took a lot of ingenuity to put that together. Oh, look at the color of the smoke. I think that means you were successful. I mean, none of my past attempts produced such a color, so that's good. Take those, place them inside the pot, and you will be able to create the Sands of Time. Yes! I can't believe it! It worked! Oh, let me take a look at that. The Sands of Time. Oh, we did it! Hooray! If only Father would put this recipe on my next test.
It's the moment of truth. I shall call for my men. It's time we finally reveal the fiend behind the mask.
Finally. I shall meet with the one I've seen only in my dreams. This doesn't feel right. Pray, be careful, adventurer.
Sprinkle this on the goblin mural atop Awas Hill, and you'll be able to summon forth Geath from the Dark Rift.
That's right. Like we yours.
If only someone would remember that I shall protect my poor tribe forever.
Takros probably should have already arrived in Velia by now. Goodness, adventurer. Whatever are you?
It was you, Geath. The one who pushed me towards Kron Castle in my dreams.
Emma, be careful, okay? Will she be alright, adventurer?
He appears to be saying something. Adventurer, I wish to speak with him.
I need the power and wisdom to protect my people. It seems that I still lack both. I need more black stones. The black stones granted me the gift of this flesh. At the same time, so too began this dreadful nightmare of Kron. He spoke to me. If I wished for the nightmares to end, all I needed to do was but destroy the relic atop the spire at Kron Castle.
Who was he? Are you speaking of the man clad in black robes? Was he the one who gave you the black stone?
You seem to know a lot more than I thought. As he instructed me, I advanced toward Kron Castle, bringing destruction to all I laid eyes upon. And yet, at the spire, I encountered one who could not be killed. This body I inhabit froze at first sight.
You too have been dreaming the same nightmares as I. What did you find at the spire?
The thirst, it burns. It overwhelms me once more. Soon this body shall no longer be able to reside in this world. By the time I return, I shall be caught in the abyss, maddened by a pain that only my flesh shall remain, crying out. If only someone would remember that I shall protect my poor tribe forever.
Gia, wait!
Big chap. But hey. And that's fire. Eh.
I'm speechless. Did you end up losing that fiend? We should have joined forces to exterminate him and the rest of the goblins for good.
Geath is gone for good, so you can rest easy. Though, do you perhaps know who's guarding the relic within Kron Castle?
And where'd you hear something like that? That kind of knowledge shouldn't be tossed around so casually.
It doesn't matter how we know. You're resident of Velia now, Takros. Don't you think it's your civic duty to tell us?
Understood, milady. I shall tell you of all that I know. None of this is news to the chief anyway. The reason the Median deserters could stay in those ruins, well-fed, well-supplied, is due to aid from an outside benefactor. Not a clue whom. They only dealt directly with our leader.
Outside benefactor. Sounds wealthy. And powerful. Oh, any chance he's got a baby face too?
I'm not sure. In exchange for their constant support, they had only one condition. For us to protect the spire's entrance at any cost. We were also instructed to never open the entrance. Didn't stop a few fellows whose curiosity was greater than their sense.
What happened to them?
They died. Milady, you're not thinking of going there now, are you?
We must head to Kron Castle. Adventurer, I believe this is the most opportune time with you by our side.
I see there's no changing your mind, milady. Though I'd ask, if all goes well, that you put in a good word for me with the chief. With our current numbers, a full frontal assault would be suicide. We need to go in with a small team to infiltrate enemy lines. Once inside, you'll find a man named Beetle hiding out in exile. He's the only fool still alive who's tried to open those gates. He too seems interested in getting out, settling down in Velia. With enough persuasion, I imagine he'd offer his full cooperation. I'll remain here and keep an eye out for Geath if he ever returns. I entrust these ladies in your care. If I ever get a promotion, drinks are on me.
around this. Grand jak robić.
Ah! Oh! Elion's balls! Who do you think you are sneaking up on me like that? I nearly pissed myself. Eh? Come again? You want me to sneak you into the castle? And you'll get me Velian citizenship, is that right? How are you aiming to do that? Getting you in alone would be a feat in itself. But getting the lot of you in? Forget it.
Hello there. I'm Eileen. I beg you reconsider. We really can keep our word. This girl, right here, her grandfather's the chief of Velia. And rumor has it that you'd like to start a new life in town, so,
Oh, so she is. The stone-faced wench herself. Just poured right out of me, that did. Apologies. Let me start again. Name's Beetle. I would happily be your guide. I may not look it, but I hail from a long line of guild advisors. The reason we've been stationed here for so long was due to our dealings with some outsiders. Not sure which merchant guild they hail from, but they kept us well equipped and well fed with a steady stream of supplies. If we say we're here to inspect the supplies, they'll let us through. When they shout the passphrase, black or red, reply silver. I'm thinking our grizzled adventure here would be a dead giveaway. To play the part of a merchant, best let the ladies handle it.
Hold! Moving or shoot!
Huh?
Black or red?
What?
Black or red?
Silver?
Come on! What the hell kind of response is that?
Ah, don't mind her, she's new. Sounds like you guys are having a hard day, yeah?
Shit like this just makes it harder. Move along.
Let's go then.
Another inspection, eh? Do we really need 2 a day?
Well, it's like we say. Any merchant worth their spice always measures storage thrice.
Hold up! I recognize that ugly mug. Beetle! What are you doing showing your face here? Guards! Anyone?
Oh, that was close. I'll hand it to you, you're more capable than you look. Anyway, what's brought you and this gaggle of classy lasses to such a dangerous place as this?
We're here to examine the ruins of Kron Castle Spire. No need to be alarmed. Takros told us everything. And yet, even though it is the first time I'm physically here, it's somewhat unnerving. I've seen this place so many times in my nightmares that it all seems so familiar.
Nightmares? Does your ladyship have such horrid dreams too? Then she must be... Are you the expert who's traveled the world studying specters?
Huh? An expert? No. No, not yet anyway. My sister's the one to call on for that. Why? Are you all struggling with nightmares too? Please, you must tell us.
Yes, we are. It wasn't as bad as this before, but they've become far more frequent these days. The vengeful souls of this castle torment me in my dreams, especially those gathered in the well over there. Apparently, one of the kings of old poisoned the well. and gathered up all the dead maidens' bodies. Just the thought gives me chills. What? What do you mean you want to go there? Just look, it's practically swarming with soldiers. Is this, well, really so important? What are you going to do? Set the whole place on fire, then just waltz in for a chat with some goats? Is that the plan?
That's given me an idea. Here, adventurer, take this. Remembering Hannah. You recognize it, don't you? This is the journal Richie recovered from the Bartali ossuary. The one from the Kron period. Like Beetle said, let's play with fire. Set a tent alight to create chaos among the soldiers. Then burn this book over the well. Igniting the reagent should manifest the spirits. But, such a waste. Such a precious reagent wasted on this. There go my plans for conjuring a hunky specter on a lonely evening. That's given me an idea. Here, adventurer, take this.
Okay. Huh? This will be a rake.